Hey, welcome back. So you have done the meditations, you've taken the deep breaths, and you tell yourself you're calm. But what if that calm you're so proud of isn't regulation at all? It's actually a freeze state, a trauma response disguised as peace. Today, I want to show you how your nervous system may be tricking you into staying stuck. But first, I'm Janice Holland, licensed therapist. I am the trauma teacher, and I'm here to help you step out of performative living where people pleasing and self abandonment thrive, and into courageous living, where your voice leads, your choices align with your values, and your life finally belongs to you. Okay, so there are two versions of calm. True calm feels alive. You're grounded, you're steady, you're clear. You can laugh, you can cry, feel, and still stay connected. It's peace with presence. And freeze calm looks similar from the outside. You're quiet, you're not reactive, you're even praised for being so chill, but inside you're numb, shut down, detached from yourself. It's not calm, it's collapse. A survival strategy, not a healing state. The problem was we've been taught to confuse the two, or we've been praised for being frozen. If you grew up in conflict, chaos, or constant unpredictability, or maybe you grew up not being allowed to have emotions or needs, then your nervous system wired itself to believe, don't feel, don't react, don't make waves, stay small and quiet, that's safe. So over time, you learn to equate numbness with peace. So now when you meditate, scroll on your phone, or keep your opinions quiet, you think you're calm, but really you're frozen. You're in freeze state. It feels familiar, and familiar feels safe, but safe and regulated are not the same thing. I'm going to say that again. Safe and regulated are not the same thing. Here's what it looks like in everyday life. You come home drained, collapse on the couch, and scroll for hours. You're not relaxed, you're numb. Or your partner says something hurtful, and instead of responding, you smile and say, it's fine. Maybe at work, you have an idea, but keep it to yourself because you don't want to cause conflict. Or at family gatherings, you are physically present but disappear into silence while others dominate the space. Maybe you overcommit and say yes and convince yourself it's easier than saying no, even as resentment builds. People may praise you. She's so easygoing. She never complains. She always has it together. But inside, you feel tired, disconnected, and invisible. That is not calm. That is a stress response called freeze. And I want you to know this isn't just something my clients have struggled with. I have lived this too. I have done a lot of healing and growth over the years. I've built a life that I love, and I've created programs, and I've supported so many clients through my private practice. But recently, I was reflecting on why I hadn't been able to make traction on a certain area of my business, especially around promoting my work in this one consistent, really powerful way. On the surface, I told myself I was calm, centered, and patient, and I was meditating daily. I thought that I was grounded, but the truth is I wasn't embodied. I was anxious and nervous about the launch of this new project that I wanted to do, and I allowed the anxiety and nervousness to connect me to fear, and so I got stuck in a freeze response. I didn't even recognize it in myself. I thought that I was staying calm and grounded. Later, I realized I was remaining dissociated while sitting silently in my meditations. I wasn't aligning my mind and body. I was using my mind to override my body. Instead of connecting with my energy and aliveness, I was pressing pause because I was scared. I looked calm, I felt calm, but it wasn't regulation, it was freeze. And because of that, I wasn't showing up. I wasn't taking the risk. I wasn't putting myself out there. I was stuck in stillness, thinking it was peace, when really it was my nervous system holding me back. Here's the difference. When I began practicing integration, actually noticing my sensations, moving my body, connecting with my breath, connecting with what I was feeling, I was still meditating. I was still promoting my business. The actions looked the same on the outside, but the energy was completely different. I wasn't overwhelmed anymore. I felt good about what I was doing. I was excited to be doing what I was doing. It wasn't draining me any longer because I was in a true present calm state rather than a dissociated freeze state that's hard to move through. When we operate from freeze, it feels heavy, effortful and disconnected, like dragging ourselves through mud. But when we operate from integration, it feels aligned, natural, even exciting, like energy is flowing through us instead of draining out of us. That's how you know the difference. Freeze calm is stillness without life. Integrated calm is stillness with aliveness. One keeps you stuck and the other one moves you forward. The chronic freeze isn't harmless. Living here long term breaks you down. Cortisol becomes dysregulated, leaving you exhausted or wired at the wrong times. Your immune system weakens, you get sick more often, or battle autoimmune disease. Your digestion slows, gut health declines, your body ages faster. Freeze was designed for moments of threat. But when it becomes your lifestyle, it's like trying to live your whole life with the emergency brake on. Eventually, the car, your body, wears out. So, what does healing look like? It's thawing out, it's bringing your emotions back online. And I'll be honest, at first, it is uncomfortable. You may suddenly cry more or have anger that you've swallowed for years. Fear feels sharper, and joy sometimes is foreign. It's hard to connect to. It can feel like too much, like you're regressing, but you're not regressing. You are coming alive. Imagine ice melting. The first drops are cold and painful, but then the water warms and it flows. And that is what it's like when your emotions come back and you come back online. Here's one simple way that you can start. Once a day, pause and ask, what am I feeling in my body right now? Not your thoughts, your body. Do you feel tightness in your chest, a lump in your throat, tingling in your hands, a pit in your stomach? Naming sensations reconnects your brain and body. It's one of the fastest ways to begin thawing, freeze, and reclaiming aliveness. Just this morning, I was meditating, and as I did a body scan with my mind, I noticed tension in my chest. I had to focus on the tension to understand it, and I was able to recognize it was due to a problem I needed to resolve with my son. Now, the reality is, I wasn't able to fully release the tension. This issue is just too important, but I was able to sit with it and hold it while I also did my breath work and set my intentions for the day. Look, life is messy. It won't always feel calm and resolved. That isn't the point. The point is to be aware and present with everything that we feel. If this is resonating with you, I created a free guide called Finally at Peace. And inside, I break down how we get stuck in hypoarousal, this freeze state, as well as other nervous system dysregulations. And I'll walk you through powerful steps to get unstuck and move towards true peace. You can download it for free. The link is in the description, or just send me a message and I'll be happy to send it to you. All right, so remember, numbness isn't peace. Freeze isn't calm. Real peace feels alive, connected, and fully present. And in the next video, I'm going to show you why boundaries are actually the real gateway to intimacy. You don't want to miss it. So hit subscribe and turn on the notifications, because this is where the breakthrough is going to happen for you. I will see you next time.